Darkness swallow my sight. Endless miles no end in sight. Engines screaming, souls collide. Lost on this nightmare ride. Concrete serpents turning cold. Gravel secrets tales untold. Highway ghosts they haunt the lane. Echoes of my fear and pain. Concrete serpents looking cold. Gravel secrets tales untold. Highway ghosts they haunt the lane. Echoes of my fear and pain.
Free time.
How long have we been doing this podcast, and you have giggled for years?
I have no idea. Hey, well,
It's like a schoolgirl.
welcome to. Can we begin, please?
Begin. Been waiting for 5 hours.
I will yell at me. Why don't you? Okay, here we go. Well, welcome to another episode. Damn it. Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Decon, here with a very, very mysterious
SOS, and here with the dark and lovely
Missy the Jessie. And I am happy to introduce the beautiful Ash.
Oracle, and I would love to introduce our amazing CIA agent.
Who is missing?
And
Oh,
it's Fabio.
Yeah.
Dirty Birdie.
I think the issue was that Dirty Birdie. Hey, everybody, I'm Dirty Birdie. Hey,
Dirty
everybody,
Birdie, we can't hear you.
I'm Dirty Birdie.
And we can't hear you, Dirty
Hijo de
Birdie.
puta. Sí, esta que me come mierda.
Maybe he's
I'll-
talking in silence.
I'll introduce him the way that he introduces me every time. Yes, this is I, Dirty Birdie. Here I am. Let's begin the show. It's going to be a very amazing show. I cannot wait to actually begin and have this conversation. So let us begin with our wonderful host here. So let's continue. What is the topic for the day?
You guys, I am taking over here. We are going to talk about not the big fat guy on Christmas that squeezes his ass down the chimney, or me who was wearing yoga pants and trying to squeeze my ass back out the door from eating Chinese restaurant. We're going to talk about Krampus. You guys,
Krampus.
Krampus is like a nightmare. Like, if I was a child in some of these countries, I would not want to be excited for Christmas at
It's
all.
not Christmas. It is the Krampus.
Christmas.
I'd rather take the Chinese restaurant with Grandma.
Wait, is Dirty Birdie back?
Can't hear
I-
you, Dirty
Dirty?
Bird.
What if this whole
Got no
time?
audio.
What if this whole time he's never really existed and the reality just hit me?
It was just like Ed McMahon.
It was just okay. You know what? That's not today's episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Krampus and the other person was the same.
Listen, listen.
Mistaken.
Up and he's gone. This is
All right.
Bad
Who
days.
shook the jar?
Freaking
Okay.
Idaho with our
Freaking drawers.
it was me.
Yeah. It was me. It's not the ashes of the fallen, is it?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
the recompense of the
we
fallen.
are going to talk about this horned figure demon, is what they call it.
Oh.
And he is, who's in like Central and Eastern Alpine folklore tradition.
I was gonna say Florida.
Whoa. I mean, it's possible.
Some guy out
That's
there's
not
on
some
meth.
word.
Oh wait,
Hello, Dirty Bird.
sound check.
Sound check.
Say
Nothing.
hello.
Well,
Oh
Wait.
no.
Say it again.
I
Nope.
man, this
Restart
sucks
your computer,
worse.
bird.
This sucks worse than the time that my parents say I'm a huge disappointment and I was never gonna amount to anything. And I'm like, look at them now. Guess what? You were.
Nice.
And very quickly, for those of you that are out there and they're like, oh, look at Decon, he's on a show. You know, I could do that job. Well, guess what? You could. I'm drunk half the time.
All right.
I have no idea what happened to this freaking show.
I know. Can we replay? It was
Okay.
Krampus,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So
A
it is
demon.
accompanied by Saint Nicholas on visits to children at night, but it's not on Christmas Eve. Apparently, the night on December 5th is when Krampus night happens, and it's immediately before the feast of Saint Nicholas, which is on December 6th. In this tradition, Saint Nicholas rewards well-behaved children, so Deacon's out. With small gifts. While Krampus punishes the badly behaved ones with a birch rod. If nobody doesn't know what a birch rod is, it's basically when your grandma tells you to go and cut a willow switch.
Oh.
It's a switch. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So anyway,
Okay.
the origin of this figure is pretty unclear. Some folklore and like anthropologists, believe it or not, have like thought that maybe like a pre-Christian origins, and its traditional parades. Where did Ash go? He's dropping.
Let's keep
Apparently we're not
going.
supposed to
Let's
talk
keep
about
going.
Krampus.
We're here.
All right. And so it is pre-Christian origins. It's traditional in parades and such as like Krampus Run, which if nobody has ever been to these are super amazing, and the costumes are like out of this world. People will dress up like Krampus. It's almost kind of like a crossover with Halloween. Like if you dress up like Krampus, like he's not going to come and get you, right? And it's an attempt to scare the audience with their antics. And Krampus is also featured on like holiday greeting cards, and it's called Krampus Gerten. I'm probably slaughtering that.
Krampus Gersten.
See, that is why he is there.
You know what would be really cool is if we had a Krampus in our local Christmas parade. It would freak this community out.
Cool.
Oh my god, it would be
I
so
don't
cool,
think
wouldn't it?
people would go
favorite is?
back.
I would do it.
My
would
favorite
be
is
the
not
Krampus.
Krampus. My favorite is Black Pete. You know who that is?
Who is
No.
he? No.
Black Pete was the Krampus's assistant. Normally, he's portrayed by a guy in blackface, and his job is to basically, when Krampus puts you in the basket, he stomps on the basket and kicks it around.
That's really
Also,
mean.
well, it's the Krampus. He's a piece of shit. Well, he is. I mean, not only does he beat your kids, he also drowns them in a river.
Well, if Krampus
throws them
wasn't
into
coming
the-
after you
Or
before he
Krampus.
is now.
So wait a minute, who's drowning who? Black Pete's?
Black
Or
Pete was
Krampus.
he's the one that helped gather the kids. And then when you were in the bag, he'd throw you on the ground and he'd stomp on you. You say Krampus is coming after me?
Well, were you a bad child?
Was I? It depends. Who you ask.
Okay, so
Um,
it depends on the day.
It happens.
if you ask if you ask my mother, I was never a bad kid. I was just a massive disappointment.
Okay.
So,
So
Okay.
Krampus also kind
Jess-
of originated
Jesse,
in like
where-
Germany and Austria.
Okay.
So I just had an image of Arnold coming, him. Can you imagine him as a little kid, and he's just coming through like, "I'll listen to me. I'll get in the bag. Oh, you've been the bad boy.
Oh,
you've been bad boy. Everybody,
creepy.
get down.
That's
Get
not
down in the
even
basket.
okay.
Lol, lol. Everybody, lol."
Nope.
Oh my god.
That makes it scarier.
No, it's
Oh,
Arnold.
that's.
You know, he's trying to.
Although I'm thinking about like Arnold dressed up like Krampus and going out.
Yeah,
I
but
can see it.
the problem is that Arnold is like not even hardly any taller than I am.
Oh, Arnold?
He is a little dude, but
Yeah,
his shoulders are like
Yeah,
He just
really
I'm
looks big.
standing on top of
wide.
Deacon's shoulders, and me and him together, we're like the little rascals. It's fantastic. We have trench coat. We try to get loan from bank.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
so the Krampus. When was the first ever documented case where you actually see the Krampus in history?
Well, that's one thing. It's like in the 16th century, and even before is when they talked about Krampus. This has been like a folklore that's been passed on from generation to generation to keep your kids in control. So, however, I will say that there was a observation from this guy. He was an anthropologist. His name was John Hongman. And he wrote this, and I'm just going to quote it what he says. He says the St. Nicholas festival we are describing incorporates culture elements widely distributed in Europe. St. Nicholas himself became popular in Germany around the 11th century. The feast dedicated to his patron of children is only one winter occasion in which children are object of special attention. Others began in like Martinmas, which is a weird name, the Feast of Holy Innocents, and New Year's Day. So the masked devils acting, out of craziness and everything, is making a nuisance of themselves, was known as Germany since at least the 16th century, while animal masked devils combining dreadful comic. So he just goes on and talks about how, Krampus and this folklore is to keep your children well behaved. And it's kind of like almost the same thing what we do with like Christmas, right?
Yep.
We tell our children,
Right.
Santa is not going to come if you're a little shit.
Basically, yes.
My mom's words exactly.
Sorry, I channeled her.
You keep acting like that. Santa's
yeah.
not coming. I will cancel Christmas.
Right.
I will write him a letter.
And correct. And he also says that Austrians in the community that they studied are quite aware of the quote unquote heathen elements being blended together with Christian elements. Again, St. Nicholas. And customs and other winter ceremonies. They believe Krampus comes from a pagan supernatural who is basically turned out to be like a Christian devil, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, when we talk about pagan, a lot of the traditions that we do today were originated from pagans. So, decorating a Christmas tree is a pagan thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
and we turned it into a Christian thing.
well, yes and no. And this is one of those things that a lot of people misunderstand. So a lot of people talk about, the winter solstice, because when you look at the winter solstice and then you link it with Christianity, right?
Yeah.
And people are saying, well, because the winter solstice predated Christianity by 200 years, they're saying like, well, the Christians stole it from the pagans. In reality, the decoration of the trees is actually found in a book of Ezekiel in traditional Judaism, which Judaism predates paganism by 4,000 years to 3,000 years. So a lot of the rituals that were taken by the pagans were actually taken from Judaism. So the observation where the Christians would decorate, they're actually looking back at the book of Ezekiel where there was the decorations of the trees. You find that in the book of Ezekiel, and it says those who decorated the evergreens. in observation of the end of the year. So when you look at those kind of things, also what's awesome is that, sorry, now my brain's going. So,
Challenge.
no, so now that my brain's going, so with the tradition of Santa Claus is gonna leave a lump of coal in your stocking or whatever it is. So originally, Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas was a man that was a church planter. And the Catholic Church came around the 1300 years after Jesus, after Christ. That's where Catholicism begins, is 1300 years after. So about, I believe, I think that in, sorry guys, 1100 AD, there was a man who would plant churches, and his name was Nicolaus. So you have Nicolaus, and he would basically go to basically, he would take food to the kids, and he would put them on the doorstep. He would leave little treats here and there. So he would put little treats here and there. So then after he died, the parents didn't want, and this is one theory, so it's not solidified in stone. So one of the theories was that, well, he was a real guy, and this is what he did. But they say that after he died, the parents didn't want the kids to feel discouraged or depressed that he had died. So what they did was they started to, sneak into the doorway and put little treats here and there. So the act of leaving the lump of coal in your stocking actually comes from the fact that back then, food was so scarce that leaving somebody like a piece of bread or a pastry or something was considered such a huge thing that if he left you a lump of coal, it was something that you obviously can't eat, So it was seen as a big threat. If you don't behave yourself, Saint Nicholas is not gonna. And it wasn't even saint; it was just Nicholas, Father Nicholas, because saint didn't arrive until after the 1300s when the Catholic Church decided we're gonna take this over. So he's gonna leave a lump of coal, and guess what? You're not gonna get to eat. So it was a much bigger threat back then than it is now. What is it now? Like, you're not gonna get that toy you want. Back then, it's like you may go hungry.
Or Santa ain't coming.
Yeah.
So
such a harder time.
I don't know. If I were to tell my kids they weren't getting the toy that they wanted, it'd probably be a meltdown.
Yeah, probably.
That's when you put them in a bag. And I dress up in blackface.
Oh God, please don't.
Oh my gosh. So we want to talk about kind of like the apparent looks of this demon Krampus, okay? There's so many different descriptions of him. It's kind of like, okay, so when we go to like a parade, a Krampus celebration, you're going to see different versions of Krampus and what people who dress up like that believe what he looks like. A lot of people talk about Krampus is usually featured as a man with horns, with a grotesque human foot and 1 foot of a goat, which I don't know how they would walk. Well, he doesn't walk very good. And typically he's covered with black hair, and a unique to Krampus is also the very long snake or dragon-like tongue. Other parts of the world will describe him almost the same, usually brown or black, as 1 foot is he has hooves, basically like the goat or the devil, they'll say, and the horns of a goat. His, again, is the long tongue, and he has fangs. They also say that, when he comes around, you'll have the smell of like decay and grossness around him. So if you smell that, it's like, uh-oh, Krampus is here, or somebody just blew ass, one of the two.
I think it was Krampus.
Maybe both.
So
nowadays, it seems like the fascination with these kind of old legends or, these kind of things is making a comeback. Why do you think that is?
I just think that a lot of people are trying to open their minds a little bit more, as we know that there's a whole new generation of kids that actually are a little bit more, they want to learn more about things around them and not be so enclosed. But that's just my opinion. You know, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it might be the same thing. I just think that, you know, it it wasn't a big thing. Well, I think that ever since the Krampus movies came out, and then people are like, "What is that?
Yes.
What is the Krampus? You know, why
Mm-hmm.
is it?" I think now we have just so much access to information, and now people are more curious, you know, and they want to find things out. When back in the day, like in the '90s, um, you had to go to a library, you know, if they had that type of information. So a lot of people are like, kind of why bother? But now we have so much access to information, and it's so much
Mm-hmm.
easier that I think that people are beginning to look back at the old traditions, and
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of like, "This is pretty cool. I think I wanna." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also
absolutely.
think that people are disillusioned with organized religion. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people are kind of veering away from it. Doesn't mean that they're not Christian or whatever, but they're the the control that some organized religion has over their life. They're trying to say, that's cool. I like our beliefs, but I don't want that level of power over the top of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
they look elsewhere too.
Yeah, I just think that it's. I think it's probably just all of that. Also, and I hate to get mystical here, but I just think that, you know, some people have a certain pull. If I were to say something's like pulling them a certain direction, and instead of them kind of like just being like, well, I have this feeling, whatever. Now when people have a feeling, they're kind of like, well, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm blah blah blah, and they kind of look it up and they begin to identify with different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
find out that in their ancestry, their great great grandfather was a blah blah blah, and they're like, you know what, I have been inclined, or I'm more interested in this, like maybe I shall explore that a little bit,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
trying to
and this
say?
is yeah, I mean, it's like genealogy has become a huge thing in the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
20 years, and everybody now is like figuring out where they came from. And I think it gives a little sense more of pride and understanding of, what your ancestors went through, and what everybody's belief is, and try to open that reality or the doors of understanding of each other as a culture and as human beings. But nowadays we also don't see that. So,
Yeah.
Not, not my ancestry. A bunch of dumb brown people running through the jungle. No thanks.
That's so mean. They're gonna
Oh
come
my
haunt you in
gosh.
your sleep.
I hope so.
So I was going to tell you guys, when I was doing my research, and I'm like, what other cultures talk about, like what Krampus does, and of course we talk about like his physical appearances, but there's also some similarities that I find in other shows, and I don't know why, but I find these similarities. So we talk about how Krampus, he carries chains, and it's thought to symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian church. He thrashes apparently he thrashes these chains for dramatic effect, and these chains are sometimes accompanied by the bells of like different sizes. He will carry a bundle of birch branches, which he whips the children, and he has a basket strapped to his back. This is a cart of evil. This is for like has evil children in it, for drowning, eating, and transport to hell. Some of the older versions make mention of naughty children being put in a bag and taken away. So, to me, when I read this, and it's kind of interesting that you think about some of the movies that come out through time. And to me, some of this reminds me of Scrooge, and how Scrooge had the Marley come back, and he had all these chains and everything
Mm-hmm.
around him. And if you really think about it, a lot of movies, including Krampus, will incorporate traditions from way back in the day. So it's interesting to kind of catch those little glimpses of where these ideas for movies came from. So
Here's a fun fact: the word Ebenezer, it means blessed by God.
yeah.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Anyway, yeah, it was the whole irony. Here's what's cool. is that we look at these old traditions, and if you, it's kind of fun. Like, if you have a history, or like if your family is from that region, sometimes when you're reading through, not mine, like, I didn't have any shit like that. But well, okay. I will say this: the whole putting the kids in the cart or putting them in a thing or in the bag, it reminds me a lot of, like, and I've talked about this before, of La Carreta Bruja in El Salvador, where if you were a gossiping woman, this cart would come through and they would load you up, or if you were a nag or if you were a bad person, they would load you onto this cart and they would take you to be beaten or drag you straight to hell. So, again, like when we were talking about how, and I think it was the last show, about how all these cultures kind of, if you look close enough, there's similarities, because the Krampus does the same thing, like he'll load you in about, not if you're a nagging woman, which I think that he should.
Wow.
Anyways.
Oh my God.
Well, I'd be on a show by myself. And so, but the fact that he puts you in there and then he drags you away, could you imagine your ancestors? I think I'm a little drunk. Can you imagine your ancestors going back and then the day's coming when it's like, oh, it's Krampus night, and you're just waiting, like, damn, and you're hoping, you're not hoping, jeez. You're expecting to go back to your little school or whatever, or hang out with your friends, and you're expecting some kids to be missing, and you're like, damn it, my friend is such a little bastard. He's always pissing off his mom. Today's the day, today's the day, you know what I mean? And it sounds kind of messed up.
Mark my words, today's the day.
Today's the day. It's like winning the lottery, right? Today's the day. So, could you envision yourself being one of your ancestors, one of your great-grandparents, just sitting there, just waiting to hear those chains?
No, because mine are from Germany, so I would really rather fucking not.
Are they angry about World War II? Anyways,
I wouldn't know.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, isn't that a fun thought to think? Like, man, I wonder if back then they were just waiting by the door with a knife or with you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that no.
So terrifying.
Why do you always have to go dark? I don't understand.
Is there any information on how you can repel the Krampus?
Be good.
Yeah, no, you can't. Just be a good kid.
No, there's ways, actually.
Enlighten
me.
Me.
So one of the ways that you can. Did we lose message, or is she just muted? One of the ways that you can make the Krampus go away from your home is...
I was telling my children to be good, sorry. I told them to lay down.
Oh, the Krampus. It's like, hey, yeah, the Krampus is coming. Is you take a piece of paper, and stop me if this sounds familiar. You take a piece of paper and you write down all of your good deeds that you've done. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You write them down as a list. And then...
So is that what I want from Santa? List?
No, man, come on.
Damn.
So you write down your good deeds, and then you burn it, and you set it outside on your doorstep, so that smoke can go up, and then it repels the Krampus, because somehow it reaches him, I guess, and he's like, I can't come to this house.
So you're saying my will, I need to burn it.
Yes. So, but doesn't that kind of sound like sorcery a little bit?
It does.
Of course it does.
It is like
sounds like all of the.
It's fine.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It is. I think it's interesting.
Another one is you take a bowl and you fill it up with water, and you basically you speak the good deeds that you've done, and you leave that bowl outside your doorstep. And same thing. It's just sorcery. That's all it is.
So interesting that you did ask me about how we could repel Krampus.
We could.
So it is customary to offer Krampus snops. Yes. Yeah, the strong distilled fruit of brandy,
Ooh.
You can offer me that, and I'll be good
I
too.
do.
I know.
I
It's
won't.
or similarly like a pagan spirits of like the German folk. They make some very strong schnapps.
They
And
do.
they offer that to Krampus. They're like, "Hey, you want to get drunk together?
Hell
My
yeah.
kid's an asshole, but here we are."
Yeah, let's drink the schnapps. I just installed this brand new shower. Come and check it out.
Oh God.
Maybe we could stuff Krampus in a bag and
Yeah,
put
come
him in the river.
quickly. Come hop on this
He would-
train.
Oh no.
Probably be like, our legendary Bigfoot. It's like messing with the Krampus instead of taking his jerky away. We're gonna
Yeah.
take his schnapps away.
Taking away his schnapps. It's like, hey, Krampus, I just built this amazing tent. You should come check it out.
God.
What did you name your schnapps? This is peach and just
Oh God.
jeez.
You would be the
Oh,
scariest
hell.
German person on the planet.
That's how all Germans talk.
So we know that there's a celebration nowadays. If we talk about Krampus, and every December there is Krampus parades that are put on. For instance, in our area up in Idaho Falls, they do a Krampus parade every year in downtown Idaho Falls. And
They do? Wait a minute.
yes, they do. Yep, I go
When?
every year.
When?
Yep, every year.
Really?
But when?
They do it on the 5th. They do it on Krampus Day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm so going. On the 5th?
Yep. Yes,
Okay,
I'm not.
what
I have
day is
not
that on?
seen the advertisements for this year, so I'm a little kind of wondering if they're doing it this year.
That would
with
be
everything
Thursday.
going on. But yeah,
I'm
so-
not going.
and you should. It's really cool.
I would go.
Oh,
But-
I want to write a letter and be like, can I please be Black Pete?
Can you be Black Pete and Krampus at the same time?
Yeah.
No, man.
Why?
Because
You can
just
be
can't.
Pete Krampus.
You're no fun.
He
I
was
am-
helping Krampus.
I am. I might. I don't know. What am I doing with my life? You know what?
You're not
I began to
being
think
Black
that my
Pete and
mom was
Krampus
right.
at the same time, obviously.
So
Yeah,
if
what
it's
the hell's
on
the matter with
Thursday
me?
the 5th,
I'd be like-
we have to record a different night because I want to go to this thing.
Yeah. I need to see if they're still doing it. I haven't got an email or anything about it, so
Let
I'm
us
still
know. Keep
waiting.
us posted.
Bernie,
Yeah.
what's wrong, man?
Yeah.
It's
We're
it's like it's
Talk into the mic.
no, it's not working. It's like talking to Helen
I know,
Keller. He
it's
even
not
dropped his
working.
mic.
Talking to Helen Keller.
It's like
we're
Black
reading,
Noir
we're reading lips.
in
Sturdy
The
Birdie's
Boys.
lips. Read my lips.
He can't even defend himself right now.
Ugh.
And he's got a lisp.
I'm
Mike
looking
Tyson?
to see if they're having the parade.
Mike Tyson.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Nick Fifth, piss me off.
what is a 205-pound champion drink?
Oh,
Nestle's Quick Strawberry Flavor.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
And this is for making fun of my high-pitched effeminate voice. Anyways, you know,
wow.
I'm not seeing
Damn,
anything
it's all-
on this parade.
Okay.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure if they're doing it this year. I know that since I went a couple years, I went last year, but they've been kind of tapering it off since COVID.
Of course.
So I don't know if they're a lot of things that got a lot of popularity and now people don't want to be part of it and there's other things they want to be part
Yeah,
of. So
that's
that's kind of how
shitty.
things kind of get,
It's-
but
wait a
I will
minute.
tell you.
There's
Oh,
hold on now, and wait a minute. It's It's going to be in Boise this year.
Oh, that's dumb.
Boise.
I'm not going to Boise.
I'm not going to
Okay.
Boise.
Yeah.
Boise.
I'm not going to
What?
Boise.
Hello,
What?
Daddy?
We hurt
I'm
you.
not
Right?
going all the way to Boise. I fixed it.
We got
I'm
you.
done.
Here he's good.
You're
Oh,
alive.
Daddy's
It's a miracle.
back.
See, all we had, it's a Krampus miracle, everybody. My Fucha. The birthday is real.
Oh my God.
What?
I love
So-
technology.
You guys, you know, this is
what?
great.
What's
This is great.
the show?
Yes. I mean,
What?
sometimes
fucking show are you on?
I'm on a lot of shows.
Yeah, you are, huh?
This is
It's like 5
is
different
just
podcasts now.
shit
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. This show sucks.
Oh.
But speaking of parades, I wanted to tell you guys that over in Europe, when they do these parades, and even in the US, some of these parades can get out of hand, like way out of hand. Like in 2013, after several Krampus runs, it happened actually in Europe. There was a total of 8 injured people, mostly with broken bones. They were admitted into a district hospital, and over 60 other patients were treated on an outpatient basis. And the reason why is because people really do take their Krampus to extreme, where they actually will whip people.
Oh.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Yeah, people wear masks during these parades,
Oh.
and there's an issue where a lot of people would, because they're wearing masks, would actually use that as an excuse to commit acts of violence. I remember there was
Absolutely. Yep.
a mass stabbing that went on in Germany where somebody stabbed multiple people, and they were wearing a mask. So when they're like, "What the person look like?" He's like, "You look like Krampus. What else is he supposed to look at? Look at my Nazi uniform. It was pristine, and now it's got blood on it." What? I was trying to goose step. Trying to goose step in order, and I got stabbed.
Oh no.
So, and it seems I got Birdie. Look at you, man. Boy, I missed you.
Birdie, where have you been?
Where have you been
Here.
my whole life?
Here.
And it's so.
So
But-
where are these parades happening where people are getting injured? Are they in Germany? Are they?
Yeah, they're all over. I mean, they do this like
Deutschland.
in Germany, Austria. This one happened to be East Tyrol. I don't know for sure where that's at. I can look at
I
it
was
later.
just gonna ask you where the hell is
Is that
that?
outside of Switzerland?
They do it all over. It just depends on the origin and what beliefs and what villages want to do it. A lot of your smaller villages really don't do this anymore because it's been kind of taken commercialized. Does that make sense? Since the Krampus movie, a lot of it's been commercialized into these bigger towns now, and so they don't do a lot of this stuff in the smaller outskirts. So
Can you imagine being an ugly chick in one of these small villages and people reward you on your awesome Krampus costume and you're like, what? I'm just going to the store.
wow,
There's
that is amazing.
I think Krampus though is supposed to be male, so it would be an ugly male,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah.
because the long hair.
Men can have long hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Just
Krampus is supposed
because
to
you
be
see my picture on Facebook Monday morning does not mean I'm Krampus.
No, man, that's not what I'm saying at all. You're just taking something I said and you're turning it negative. Why am I even on here? I did not come here to be a source of abuse and have my words
Oh
twisted.
my God.
Okay.
Oh, do you need a therapy
You
session?
Yeah. I actually
Give
need a
him
lot
some
of help.
cheese. Give him some cheese.
So, actually, I suffer through a lot of issues. Like one of my biggest issue is
Here we go.
thinking that, you know, and it's also a fear that maybe one day you guys will just realize that maybe I'm just not worth having around anymore.
Oh my God.
It'll not ever
Stop it
happen.
now.
You guys will have to realize, just like I'm Harry Potter, you guys will just realize that I'm shitty and treat me like garbage.
Get in the cupboard, Decon.
When Ron Weasley was actually the better one.
Right?
Okay, first of all, no.
Why are we back on Harry Potter? Weren't we talking about Harry Potter last week when I was marginally in outer space?
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you love Harry Potter? 14 3/4, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't know the
12
joke.
12 and 3/4, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
No, it's 9
9
3/4.
3/4.
No, it's 9.
I don't know. I'm not a dork.
Like
I don't know Harry
one?
Potter.
I don't know. 1?
9 3/4. I just watched
I've been
it a
intimate with
couple
somebody.
weeks ago.
Anyways, what?
Nothing.
So, yeah, it's just, damn. It's just so, I guess I romanticize it in my own head. When I look at those kind of old traditions and I just sit there staring at a wall, just imagining, you know, like on a Friday night with the lights off, just like, man, what did our ancestors, not mine, but other people's ancestors go through with all these traditions? You know what I mean? My ancestors were probably getting eaten by jaguars and shit. They're dumb. But, you know, just like, damn, like this, now we look at it like it's just a festive day. How many kids are out there just shitting their pants? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's just,
it's
yeah,
true.
because they're like, was I? Because everybody's done something, you know, like as a, damn, I'm drunk. You know, there's always that one kid that like, damn, when my mom asked me, did I do this? And I said, yes, I didn't do it. Is tonight the night that I'm going to get severely beaten by a demonic entity? You know what I mean?
Well, we teach our children that monsters aren't real, right?
Mhm.
That's,
Yep.
monsters aren't
Yeah, not
real.
bad.
There's nothing under your bed. There's nothing hiding in the closet. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe there is.
Mm-mm.
There might be.
I mean, back then, that's not what they used to say. They'd be like,
Right,
monsters
well,
are
right.
real. But I mean,
Do you think that's why we do that so much now?
probably.
I mean,
it's in the
how many
I don't know.
generations that we lived with fear, so now we're trying to tell our kids everything's okay?
Yeah. There's no
Probably.
such thing as
Yeah.
monsters, you know. And then you hear in the news that, you know, a couple kids were kidnapped in a van, and then they're like, oh, they're the real monsters.
Mm.
So, anyways, is there anything else, or is that it? I gotta pee.
No, I think that's pretty much
God.
it.
Crap.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Okay.
I am.
Oh,
I hope you and Mr. Krampus and Pretty Face have a great day.
Pretty face? Me and Dirty Birdie?
Oh, yes. Dirty Birdie.
Alright, come on, Dirty Birdie. We're gonna hang out with the Krampus. Turns out it's that ugly chick that lives in that one house around the corner.
Oh, Frau Brichta?
Hey, you know what?
It's
They need
Big-
love too.
Yeah.
Just
Big
calm
Bertha.
down.
Take one for the team, my friend. I'll get you next time. So anyways, guys, if
know what's
you
happening
like
here.
if you guys like the show, remember to like and subscribe. You guys can check us out on all the platforms. No, not really. Like and subscribe. If you know somebody out there that damn, I shouldn't have drank so much before the show. If you know someone out there that you know is feeling like they don't belong, show them this episode and be like, you know what? At least I'm not Decon. You know,
Yeah.
He doesn't. And his predicaments in life, you know, his. Anyways, so yeah, do that. Check out our merch. Check out
Careful
Refried
with Chinese
Dreams.
food.
We just okay.
Did you just drop another album?
I was gonna say we just dropped another album. This one's called The Wall.
Oh, I thought it was yoga pants and Chinese food.
No, man, that's
That's okay.
the music video. On the,
It's It's kind of like the big butts, you know. I like big butts,
Yeah,
and I
well,
cannot laugh.
I wear the sparkled pants and everything. It's kind of like the equivalent of... Why do I open up to you guys?
I'm sorry. I think, yeah, it's a good idea.
So I'm... Never mind.
I had to sneeze. I was
Sparkle.
stopping myself from sneezing. I'm sorry.
All right, if only you guys can
Sparkle
stop
shorts.
yourself from ridiculing me. I mean, that'll be awesome.
Howard,
No,
be
I'm just
quiet.
stuck on the
It'll
sparkle
kill
shorts.
you.
I'd like to know where it came
The-
from.
Well, they're not even sparkle shorts. They're more like...
That's all.
Really? Because I'm on the verge of actually breaking down. I'm not even close to laughing.
So
I'm over
because
here
you have to pee.
I'm over here sharing the spandex pants that I bedazzled, for the dance
Oh,
routine, and you guys are just
my
laughing
God.
at it. Like, why do I even try? Like, seriously.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Just gonna wear the...
Wow, that's gross.
Okay.
See, this is why I hate women.
This is amazing. What a great show, people.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, you guys...
I mean,
Yeah, tune in. You want to watch
Deacon,
some guys'
you did
hopes and dreams
amazing.
get crushed.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
whatever.
Looks
Be
like
sure
I guess
to
amazing.
check us out on Patreon. Messy
looks like I'll
Jesse
go
and
back to
I
Suits
Yep.
Worker.
do 2 shows a week. Dirty Birdie, Decon, Ash, they're all doing shows. Dirty Birdie, just a reminder, we need a show.
I need to do
And
one too.
anyway, now it's great. Ash is doing Spooky Kids series.
Yeah,
And
I haven't done one in a couple weeks. I need to catch up.
Stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Guys, check it.
Yeah.
And
Maybe I
plug
just
the
move to
art.
Nashville and become like a famous country singer.
with your bedazzled pants.
Yeah, go to the karaoke bars.
Oh.
Go and just wear my bedazzled.
They have Bojangles there. It's amazing chicken.
I mean, Bojangles? Bojangles is a completely different show that I don't think that... What?
It's
What?
a restaurante.
I know what it is.
Oh my god.
I am so sorry. This is become a
Anyways.
great show.
Anyways,
Thank
whatever,
you.
guys. Yeah, this is the end of the show. Remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially when, I don't even know what the
You
hell
walk
the
out
ending
of the
is.
Chinese restaurant.
We walk out of the Chinese restaurant on Nightmare Road. Hate this show. I hate all.